Mm. What I heard is that you always have a towel on you. And you're hot all the time. The main thing. I can't wait for the eating portion of the episode. It's my favorite part.
I think this is my first time being on an episode that I'm not watching on Twitch. So I have no idea what's going on the other side.
Oh, it's on stream is starting.
Noise.
The title has two P's instead of two E's. Keepin. No kip. Oh dang! All right, what's this? Can you go for my eyes? Yeah. Feel like it was never two P's but me. Think you were wrong. But I think you yes, of course. Whatever. Yeah, no, my hair's on too, and I can't feel it at all. Not bueno.
I mean, if you want to and it's too hot, fuck it.
Funny hearing our reverb like 4 seconds later on the stream. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. Do I just need to talk like this close? Oh, okay.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Streams by Ryuk. Psych. My name is Shinigami Productions. And this is Yo Invite.
I'll edit it in post. I thought you were ready to make the third one.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Ryuk, and this right here is Yo Invite, the podcast where I bring together your favorite geeks, gamers, and goofballs so we can talk about all the things that are pushing the culture forward. Yeah, we back. I'm back. Had to take a little break. I was there. I was present, I swear. You can check my attendance. I was Mark Tardy, but I was there. Uh it was a fun night. I liked being on the other side, being able to produce and like do the little images and stuff, but it's good to be back. Good to be back with the homies. We keeping it simple today, just like the podcast says. We got some news for y'all, and we got a major hitting topic. But before we get on all those subjects, I just want to remind you all, as you can see, if you're watching on the live Twitch version of the podcast, please follow all our social medias listed below. Just type in Yo Invite on any social media search bar, and you should be able to see our name pop up, our profile pop up. Go ahead, give it a follow. If it requires, give it a like. Anything you do helps us in a very big way. We appreciate everything you do, and we want to interact with you more on our social media. So be sure to stop by there because you want all the latest news in geeks, gamers, and goofball culture. With all that being said, it's time to introduce our guest for today. Our guest is someone who constantly holds down the Twitch chat, if you will. Someone who is constantly making sure that we are in check, constantly making sure that we are doing things in time, on time, and making sure we have time and we're not just doing them last minute. We appreciate this person and what they do, and we felt like it was time to have her back on the pod. So, without further ado, give it up for LB Domino. Joe, welcome back. How you feeling?
Hey, I'm good. I don't know why all of a sudden I just got really like weird about being on the podcast. It's been a while. I think it's also because I can't like see the Twitch chat for the very first time, so it's a little weird for me, but I'm doing good. I'm chilling. I'm glad to be back. It's been a while since I've been on an episode, like actually been on an episode, so I'm excited.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And of course, I have the man himself here who I couldn't do this podcast without. He is the man you see on the cover art alongside with me. He's the man who held down the podcast by himself with the help of our homies last week and did an amazing job. And he's the man who found his color palette. I think you might want to explain a little more. Ruben, aka a lot of pun. Talk to the people.
All right. Well, since you brought it up, I guess I'm gonna have to do. Okay, so basically, I found my color palette. Right, it's great. So essentially, what colors best work with my skin? I've lived 26 years and I haven't figured that out. I figured it out yesterday. Um, Turns out it's like creams and browns, greens, lighter blues. Uh, Works very well with my skin. So I am actively trying to rework my entire wardrobe to fit that. And I mean, I can help you find yours if you don't know it. Just saying. I know a place. Just saying.
I know it, just not off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I wear a lot of colors.
Yeah, you're probably you might be close to what you might be the same color like I am.
I've been told red.
Yeah, I can also wear some red. Yeah, you might be an autumn too, but yeah.
I just go with the flow, man. My skin changes colors as it is.
Mm.
Melanin is a superpower indeed.
You're right.
The bitch decides to be here and then decides to leave when it wants to, and now I'm pale. I've been pale for like 3 years. Love it.
Well, this is true. This is true. You are a pale soul bitch.
I know. R.I.P. to the melanin that used to reside in my body.
You're terrible. This is terrible.
Rip in peace.
Rip in peace. But hey, I'm good to have my 3 homies who I started this podcast with on the podcast. Just doing it is what it do. I felt like we keep it simple. We talk about some topics that we all have interest in. Joe's taking a hit because she's talking about video games today. Whoa! So, hey, let's just sit back and have fun. As you can see, we have no crazy guest like that. Well, none of our guests are crazy. How do I word this? Oh my God, Joe, you're important too. I'm not saying that, but
I mean, I can be insane.
No, but our other guests, like we don't really have any guests for today. You'll start to see more. I guess we could talk about it, Ruin.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. You'll start to see more of our core. Pause. But you'll start to see more of us.
Core.
When I say us, I mean me, Ruben, Domino. You'll start to see more of us. We'll start to do more of the podcast ourselves, hanging out, chilling, so that way the segments that we do don't get dry for you and don't get dry for us. We like our segments. We love playing games. We love having fun on the podcast, but we want to keep things fresh, keep things new, and keep things fun. And in order to do that, sometimes you just got to keep it simple, man. Talk about some news, talk about a fun topic, and just chill. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Quick shout outs in the chat to Ricardo, first in here, chilling with a beautiful soul. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, with all that being said, I think it is time to kick off the news for today. Do y'all have anything to say before we get started with the news segments?
Hurry up. No, I'm kidding.
Hurry up. All right.
Let's do this.
Well, my name is Ryuk, and this is the Yo Invite news segment. All right. So I think we'll start things out with I guess you could say Halloween in July, guys. To say the least of the least. So
I'd like to say nope to that.
I'd like to say nope. That's a good segue into it. So like all right, I'll put it like this. When it comes to Jordan Peele, right? There is a safe space to say that it's safe to say the unexpected is, you know, now dare I say expected, right? So from psychological prisons to an upcoming To an uprising of doppelgangers, we have been taken through horrifically exciting experiences, to say the least, that created theories, conversations, and questions with answers that no one has attained even till this day. But now he has resided to a more comfy side of horror, I would say, and out of world experience, I might add. You see, by this time, he's taking us to somewhere beyond the stars, or at least trying to show us something that came from beyond the stars, with his upcoming film, Nope. N-O-P-E. Nope. See, with Nope, I'm like doing editing and stuff at the same time. With Nope, it's set to drop on July 22nd, 2022. This will follow the story of two siblings, OJ and his sister, Emerald Haywood, as their life turns after their father mysteriously is killed during what seems to be a regular day on their farm. After the passing of their father, the siblings begin to do everything in their power to capture the unidentified object on film to prove their case that aliens may have been involved with what happened to their dad. But, of course, because this is a Jordan Peele movie, the only way to really know what is going on is to buy our tickets and get good seats to experience all the twists and turns that this story has to offer. Remember, Nope drops on July 22nd, 2022. So keep that in mind. Now, I want to talk about something that I feel is, I wouldn't say important to me, but something I have a big interest in right now. Something I'm keeping my eye on right now with a total microscope. I'm talking about the game that is coming out, I believe it's in October. It is Marvel's Midnight Suns. So with Marvel's Midnight Suns, you don't probably know about the Midnight Suns. I'm gonna be honest with you. You new Marvel and MCU fans are probably used to hearing certain group names over and over again. Of course, you got the Avengers. All of us have heard about the X-Men, and some of us, right? Some of us have heard about the Inhumans. Oh, and Disney now owns the rights to the Defenders. So there's that. But one group I'm here to fill you in on is known as the Midnight Suns. In the comics, the Midnight Suns are a group of superheroes who deal with more of the magic-based incidents in the comics, or the things that go bump in the night, if you will. The original team consists of Doctor Strange, Blade, Ghost Rider, and it's Morbin time. I mean, Morbius.
Sure.
The team came to work together to defeat the enemy known as Lilith. With characters such as Scarlet Witch, Strange, and Moon Knight already in the MCU, plus Blade and the Black Knight not being far behind, I have no doubt in my mind we will see this group on the big screen. But before that comes to light, the creators of the beloved series XCOM and Civilization are taking their crack at showing us their view of the group with a new RPG experience. The gameplay does look cool with some levels of flashy attacks and chain commands similar to XCOM or XCOM, if you will, but unfortunately, from early gameplay, the levels all look a little flat and a lack of variety with battle scenery, if you will. But where I feel the game will shine in the story department, because you get to play as a original character. As the Hunter, which is a newly introduced Marvel hero that was made specifically for this game, you will team up with the Midnight Suns to attempt to destroy your mother, Lilith, after Hydra has resurrected her. The more time you spend with the Midnight Suns, the more friend or unfortunate acquaintance you become to certain members of the group. You see, you achieve high enough of a bond with certain heroes, and this will unlock new cosmetics as well as abilities. You need them when going up against the corrupted familiar faces such as Venom, Sabretooth, and the Hulk himself. Marvel's Midnight Suns makes its superhero landing on October 7th, 2022. Ruben, it's on you to tell us about our next news story. Take it away.
Thank you so much. All right. So, I bet all of you were wondering. In 2019, when a titular movie starring Joaquin Phoenix came out about one of our favorite Batman villains, the Joker, when was it getting a sequel? Was it going to get a sequel? Who knows? I'm lying about that question because nobody was asking that. And yet, now we have the answer. The answer is yes. We are getting a sequel to the Joker. Adequately titled Joker. I believe it's Folie à Deux. I don't think I'm going to be able to pronounce that correctly. Sure. But essentially what it means in, I believe it's French, is shared madness. Along those lines, like shared madness, basically implying that a disease that is shared between a mental ability, shared between multiple people, two people to say the least. Todd Phillips is again going to be co-directing this film with Joaquin Phoenix reprising his titular role as Arthur Fleck, the Joker. There's no immediate timeline of when this sequel is going to be coming out, but information has told me that they have finished the final productions of the script, I believe this month in 2022. So they'd be going on to the next levels, starting from about now, maybe a couple months from now. They'd start production of that. So depending on how long that takes, you could see it as early as late next year, perhaps early 2024, perhaps depending on when they start. Todd Phillips confirmed the Joker sequel after taking to his Instagram and posting a series of images, which you can find on Todd Phillips' official Instagram profile. It shows it's two slides. The first slide showing a picture of the finished script bound in a red cover, and then the second image is Joaquin Phoenix himself reading the said script in a chair, going over the script. So, what do we know about this sequel so far? Information is scarce, to be sure, obviously because they just finished final production on the script itself. They haven't started any filming yet, and obviously they don't want to reveal too much before things are more along in terms of directing and producing the film itself. There's a lot of speculation based on the title alone that shared madness to Folie à Deux as to where the story could be going. And many stipulate that it has to do with introducing another character that kind of interacts with Joker. Not in terms of like has the same disease, but shares in his journey with the disease that he has. So there's a lot of speculation that either they would introduce the Batman into the story, or maybe a different iteration of Harley Quinn, depending. That's pretty much all that we know at the moment. But there's still a lot of theories going around, and obviously it's still really early in development. But hopefully, as things start to get more underway, we'll learn a little bit more about maybe where the installment is going, what the direction is going to be, and when the tickets come out so that I can buy them and see it. But that's all I have for the Joker 2 at the moment.
I am excited.
Definitely.
A lot of exciting news.
Yeah.
To be honest, if you guys like noticed in geek and nerd culture this week, there was a lot of news just in general that we could have picked from that was really exciting. I mean, we also had the Bethesda and Xbox showcase today.
Mm-hmm.
There was that. There's a lot of things we could be talking about, and there's a lot of things we're gonna start tackling more of and break down. It's just when you go to a buffet, you gotta find a way to taste everything and share it with your friends. You know what I mean? So bear with us. But from the things that we do have, also, yes, that's why I did mention the showcase. Quick honorable mention to Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Which Rudy will not stop talking about.
It makes me want to play Hollow Knight. I think it's time. But before we digress into madness, just like the Joker 2, let's talk about this news, guys. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm happy about the news coming out for the geeks and the nerds. How do you all feel about all the news coming out, or the news that we do have? And which one do y'all want to talk about first?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was also looking around through, and I saw obviously there's a plethora of news that we could have talked about this week, and I'm honestly glad that we started with this stuff. Even if it's like in early development, well, Nope is late development, Joker 2 is early development, Midnight Suns is like middle development. Kind of got all the levels.
No facts.
I think for me, I think the Midnight Suns would probably be my most anticipated thing. Just because we don't really see, again, like you're right, there aren't a lot of people that know about the Midnight Suns. Just because they're not given their time to shine. Maybe because they live in the darkness or deal with the occult. But they're essentially, and I'm not to like compare them as like equivalent, but like they're the equivalent of like DC's God, why did I forget the name of that group? Let me give me 1 second. I'll come back to this. But you know who I'm talking about, right?
I'm trying to.
Oh, what was that?
One more time, you said which group was it again?
It's the DC equivalent of the Midnight Suns. They deal with stuff in the occult.
Oh, with Constantine, Dr. Fate.
Yeah, Constantine, Zatanna, yeah, Dr. Fate, yeah.
2 seconds.
Yeah, right? Like, it's like...
Sorry for the awkward silence, chat. Justice League Dark.
There it is. Justice League Dark. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the simplest. It's always the keeping it simplest answers that are the best. See what I did there?
That's true.
But yeah, it's like just like Justice League Dark. I don't think the Midnight Suns really gets as much recognition, just because there are so many. I guess like games and like characters that are kind of more mainstream. And I'm glad that they're taking an opportunity to really dive into some more like lore and characters that we might not know so much about, to get more people maybe interested in more than just the main people and like the main MCU, and keep them informed.
Right. Joe, you're our resident Marvel nerd. How do you feel about the Midnight Suns? I think they were a new experience for you. You're getting caught up in the MCU. What do you think about the Midnight Suns from the trailers and the stuff you've seen? Because you're a big Scarlet Witch fan, and it looks like she's going to be corrupted in this game at some point.
I'm a huge Scarlet Witch fan. Love her. Just a disclaimer, I just always like to say this whenever I talk about Marvel openly. I am an MCU fan, not a Marvel Comics fan, not a Marvel fan. I am an MCU fan, so I am just off of the perspective of the cinematic universe. But I do like to reference like Marvel.com to like see what happened in the comic books and kind of compare. And so when I was looking on Marvel.com, they're pretty cool. There's not too much information about them. I saw something about Dracula on their website, which I thought was cool. But the one thing that did intrigue me about the fine print on their description on Marvel.com is that one, that some people a part of the what am I trying to say? A part of the Midnight Suns are a group of people called the Night Stalkers, which are described as a group of mystic hunting heroes. It also includes Blade, Frank, Drake, and Hannibal King, but that leads me to believe that since they're hunting heroes, maybe that's why the character in the video game is called The Hunt, and it's not just kind of random, which I wasn't a fan of The Hunt, the name, but I mean, if there's like a reason for it, I guess it's kind of cool. But they also had a group of people called the Darkhold Redeemers. And in the MCU, the Darkhold is a very, 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 very huge thing in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, because the Darkhold literally fucks everything up from season 4 and on. The Darkhold has caused so much stress in my personal life. So I think it's kind of cool that they're doing something a little bit more deeper into into Marvel, so that it opens up a door between video games and the MCU. Because these little things might just seem like little things, but these Easter eggs turn into something bigger along the way, and I'm just excited to see what it's gonna turn into in that aspect. Scarlet Witch, she's a bad bitch. She's always been a bad bitch, even when she's possessed. She's still a bad bitch. Love her. I think it's going to be very interesting because Robbie Reyes also is a part of the MCU currently, and the Ghost Rider in the video game looks very similar to the Ghost Rider in the MCU on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So again, very interested to see what happens further along in the MCU timeline. I'm only on Luke Cage season 2, so anything beyond that point, I have no idea what's really going on in the MCU besides the Avengers movies, but yeah, I feel like that's my little 2 cents on the Midnight Suns.
Man, you don't even know half about the Darkhold in the MCU yet. Man.
Oh, I think I know a good chunk.
It's, well, I know how far you are in in it right now, and I know you haven't seen Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think about it being a part of Multiverse of Madness. God damn it, everything's gonna be fucked.
She thinks she got a plate of ribs, but in reality, the whole time it was cake! It was cake!
It's cake the whole time, shaped like ribs.
Hey, but Joe coming in with her homework.
I know, for real.
Like, making all these connections, nice. Especially with the Hunter character. That is a good connection. That might make a lot of sense. Also, you point out a good fact, like Robbie Reyes does look like he's gonna be the default character in the Midnight Suns video game. That's the Ghost Rider, but I did see from more gameplay that IGN posted, there looks like there's an older Ghost Rider there too, and I don't think the older Ghost Rider is Robbie Reyes, unless he's an aged one. So I could be wrong. I don't know where this falls in the timeline, but I'm excited to see. Also, Lilith, what you saw about Dracula, she's actually the daughter to Dracula. So you got the daughter of Dracula.
Oh, interesting.
And you're playing the Hunter, who is the granddaughter of Dracula now. So, and based off of what you do with certain comrades, I think you gain different abilities that are attached to them, if that makes sense. So like if you hang with Spider-Man more, you'll get more Spidey-like abilities, if that makes sense, or maybe some along those lines. If you work with Blade more, you might get some more sword play. It all depends. How you feeling about Midnight Suns, Ruben?
Honestly, I think the most interesting part is the tactical RPG element, the XCOM type movement style, like how you play the actual game. And I'm just looking over some of the stuff that they tried to figure out in the development of the game itself and how they wanted to take XCOM's approach exactly, um, as as like a tactical game, but they were having trouble. So like, I don't know if either of you guys have played XCOM before.
A bit.
No, I have not.
So basically, XCOM is just a bunch of soldiers trying to work against an invading alien threat, and it's a turn-based RPG where soldiers take turns moving to certain spaces and trying to attack these aliens, and then aliens getting their turn, attacking and moving spaces. Your goal is to repel the alien threat and have them go back to where they came from. And so how the game kind of worked, like in all tactical RPGs, there's a degree of randomness that is implemented into kind of the attacks that everybody uses. So there's a chance every attack that you do that you have the ability to miss. Obviously, so when you shoot, you have the ability to miss your shots entirely, deal way less damage than you're supposed to, critical hits, things like that. And so I guess the developers were trying to implement that exact system into this game, and they kind of found that it doesn't really work as well in a superhero game, just because there's a type of superhero fantasy that people think about when they play games. They don't really expect their characters to, like, especially if they're superheroes, to like miss. Like they're talking about how it felt really bad to see Iron Man miss like a high percentage shot. Like, say like you had a 90% chance of making like this hit and you still miss. That feels really bad, especially if you're Iron Man. You're just like, Iron Man in real life would not miss his shot. Or you're attacking with Captain Marvel, you're trying to go for an uppercut, and it only does 8 damage. Imagine you're playing Call of Duty and you get a shotgun and it only does 8 damage. And then your opponent also has a shotgun and then it attacks you for 100 damage.
Trust
that's
me,
kind of what it.
I've been there.
Yeah, I've also been there. It's terrible. It's just the worst. So they were kind of working to try and figure out a way around that, and that's how they figured out the card system. So essentially, instead of a randomness for all the attacks they can do, essentially every turn as a team, you get a certain set of abilities for your team every turn in the form of cards. The cards will always hit, but the abilities that you get are vastly different. So, for example, one turn you can get a lot more healing cards for your characters instead of like attacking cards. So that turn you're gonna have to figure out ways to work around. Okay, this is a turn where I can heal. I'm gonna have to back up, kind of reset my players, and hopefully get some attacks that can attack our enemy next turn. Or you get more attacks, obviously, so you go in more, you push in more, surround, and attack more people. And so I think it gives a sense of randomness that the game needed to be a tactical RPG without foregoing the superhero fantasy in and of itself, that your favorite characters are, they're still superhuman. They still have abilities, and I do enjoy that aspect. I guess in general, yeah, it's just different because when you see superhero video games, you usually expect more open world or something where you're more like you're kind of like a little bit more free to do what you want. But I think that this concept really can work.
I think the concept is really cool. I just can't get past the like card playing aspect of it. Like I feel like that's is doing a whole lot, but the game itself is really cool. And I think like even with the major characters, I didn't mention this earlier, but like Nico is also a part of the MCU, so she's like pretty big in the Runaways. So I would love to play this game, but I think I might just have to watch some gameplays of it on YouTube because yeah, the card style fighting is it's a lot to kind of understand.
I'm gonna spend money to buy you this game, so you have to play it.
Stop, do not buy me this game.
I'm buying you the game.
Do
Ma'am,
not.
have
I
you
don't even
ever
have anywhere to plug in my PlayStation.
That's fine. I'll buy you a TV.
Ma'am, have you ever played this game called Slay the Spire?
Oh my god, yes, let's talk about
No,
that.
I opened it once because Ruben told me to open it, and then he said it was a card game, and I said, "Yeet, fuck that."
I feel disrespected on a podcast right now.
Hey, when I said that, it was also on a podcast. It was probably like 6 o'clock in the morning or some shit, and I had been podcasting already. I mean, I had been streaming for I don't even know how long.
So what I heard is I've been disrespected on 2 podcasts.
Oh my
That is also
goodness.
what I heard.
Dang.
Hi, Mello. Hi, we see you in the chat. How's it going? Hope your night's doing well.
Hi, Denise.
Does anyone have anything else to say? Oh wait, before we go, I also think it's
Anything.
cool that just like you could be friends with some Marvel heroes, you could be like
Not friends.
yes, pretty much, not friends, acquaintances, unwanted
You're like,
acquaintances, I like to call them.
hey, Blade, I hate you. I'm like, hey, yo.
Well, so it's like this. Say if you use magic, right? Some people who don't like or agree with magic in the Marvel universe, they will be completely against it. So I don't know completely, but like for example, say you're allowed to have a 3-party team, you and 2 other people, or no, I thought it was 2 other people, you and 3 other people. Uh, so you get this 3-party team, including yourself, and if you use magic in that 3-party team and Wolverine sees you using magic and he doesn't like magic, he's gonna tell you later like, yo, magic is BS, like you're trash, I don't want to see that, don't bring me along if you're gonna do that. Then it's like, all right, Wolverine, I don't want you here. So you're
Wolverine will remember that.
right, exactly, Wolverine will remember. It's, I've heard people say it's more like a BioWare type game,
Okay.
or it's got a BioWare type film. So what that tells me is, okay, more than one playthrough, not everyone's gonna like me the first time, and people are gonna die if there's a suicide mission, just like Mass Effect 2. But does anyone have anything else to say about Midnight Suns or any other of the topics? We can move on to whatever other one you guys
Yeah,
pick.
no, what? Yeah, of course. I can talk about all these topics all day. Um, I think I want to. I think I want to talk a little bit more about Joker and kind of what I think might be going on.
What do
Oh
you
yeah,
think's
because that's
going
the
on?
least I have to talk about.
So, like, just based on the title alone, like I was saying, um, I was saying that they can introduce another character, kind of to complement Joker in this world that he's in. And I know I was saying it's between Batman and like maybe Harley Quinn. It could be a different character. They could make up their own character. Obviously, I wouldn't put it past Todd Phillips uh, to do something like that to create a vision. Because I don't think they were expecting to do a sequel at all. Uh,
It seems so much like a one and done film.
it should have been. I think. I think it should have been. Um, but I guess he said he wouldn't do another film unless he found inspiration for like some thematic elements that he was looking for, and so I guess he found it in something, which is why I guess he's making it. Um, but yeah, if I had to place my bets, I'd place my bets on Harley Quinn probably more than Batman being introduced in the movie, or a third party character. I just think that Batman would be the least likely to be introduced into this movie for like just one major reason, and that's because the Batman just released, and they already introduced another Batman into like this whole cacophony of like Batmans that have been introduced, and I don't think they're gonna like a year and a half later introduce another Batman after this movie has just come out and they've just started to establish like a new Bruce Wayne and like his identity and stuff like that and his growth.
Do you think they'll introduce a new Harley Quinn, or are they gonna bring Margot Robbie?
I don't think they're gonna bring a Margot Robbie in. That's because I don't think like I think that her version of Harley Quinn is good for the films that she's in specifically, but I don't think that that dynamic works as well with the world that the Joker has built. I don't think. Um, that's just personally for me. I don't think, but I could be wrong. Maybe they could get Margot Robbie to do like a Harley Quinn in this. Um, but I feel as though if they were to introduce like a Harley Quinn in here, just like they kind of rebuilt Arthur Fleck a little bit and gave a little bit more flesh to his backstory and stuff like that. I feel like we just see a little, maybe even a lot more of her like backstory and kind of how it intertwines with the Joker itself. I know there were like tidbits of how she was a psychologist while he was in prison, and then she fell in love with him through manipulation and stuff like that, and then he eventually convinced her to become Harley Quinn. Um, but I don't know if there's any way that Phillips might twist that story to make it a little bit more real, a little grittier, maybe. Through whatever circumstances she might have, if it is indeed Harley Quinn that is involved um, in the film itself.
If I may, I do feel, if possible, she may be in the film, only just because of one slight hint, and it's not even a hint. The script or the picture that's circling around the internet is the red script or the red cover of the script, which most covers tend to be white or whatnot, but what's the main color of Harley Quinn? Red and black. The lettering's black. The book's red. But if they did meet in prison, that would set up for a good sequel. I'm not gonna say perfect, but I will say good sequel, because it would fall right after this big spoiler alert, this big ending that happened in the, well, I'm not even gonna spoil it, this big ending that happened in the Joker that could lead him to being inside of prison, you know what I'm saying, which he then can tell his side of the story to someone else who actually is listening to him, because throughout the movie we see different signs of people not reaching out or listening to him, you know what I mean? So this would be a good section to see that romance develop in its own way, because the thing you have to understand about this series of DC movies is it's not a DCU movie. It's not a Marvel Cinematic U type movie. It's its own pocket dimension of this new comic book media that's coming to age. It doesn't have to fill a certain role. It doesn't have to meet a certain narrative. It can tell a story while being its own type of thing. You see, the Joker looks nothing like any Joker we've seen before. He has his own suit, his own flair, his own feel, his own walk, talk, the way he handles things. So this is going to be exciting to see. Same thing with other pocket dimensions of comic books, if you will. Dare I say Invincible. Invincible is another good example of how you can do comic books that doesn't have to be tied to DC or Marvel. What's another one? The Walking Dead comic books are another good sign, even though the television show didn't really stick out too well with that. But the point I'm trying to make is that you don't have to be attached to these big name companies. Main how you say vision to have success. Because as much as Miss Robbie is a good Harley Quinn, I don't think I want to see her in the Joker Part 2. That's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. I was like Margot Robbie puts on brilliant performance as Harley Quinn, and I 100% respect the way she plays her. But I feel as though it would be kind of a little too out of place, and kind of like the setting that this world is in, for her to be the Harley Quinn of this universe.
I think that makes sense.
Give it to someone who we wouldn't expect. Just like, I don't know, we kind of didn't. I personally didn't expect Joaquin Phoenix to be the Joker ever, but let's give it to someone who we wouldn't expect. You know, just give someone a shot, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, someone new. Oh, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice. It gives people the chance to step out their comfort zone. Shoot. What is the dude's name that plays Glenn on The Walking Dead?
Stephen Yeun.
Yeah, Stephen Yeun.
I mean, Stephen makes a pretty good superhero, if you ask me, in Amazon's original series, Invincible.
He also makes a pretty good cowboy in the movie Nope.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And he makes a pretty good Glim in The Walking Dead.
He made a really good Glenn.
Yeah.
He did.
Past tense.
Sad to see him go.
Past tense. Terrible. The dumpster. He's not in the dumpster. No, anyway.
Well, hey, I'm glad they extended his time. I think he was supposed to get killed off or leave way before, and they extended his time because he was really good at what he did. So
I believe he was supposed to die underneath that dumpster.
Yeah, I
And
think
they were
so.
He
like,
was.
no, we're not
Nah.
going to do it to him. We're going to do it to him like a season later, and we're going to make it 10 times, 20 times worse.
Yeah, respectfully.
I still, till this day, feel like the freaking writers seen that theory going around and were like, hey, should we put him under the dumpster? Yeah, and just come back like and he's good. But hey, that's just me. Hey, shout out to Jay Salcido in the chat. What's good, Javi? Good to see you. Yes, we are alive and we're doing well. Good to see you. Wild nights. A lot of palomas. Who shot the dog?
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Hey, what? It's in the back. You can see it. It's in the back over there.
It's a beverage, Twitch. No dogs were harmed in the making of that hat. But yeah. I'm also really excited for this Jordan Peele movie. I always get excited to see Jordan Peele release a new project.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's comedy or whether it's like just straight up horror. I don't care. I'm here for it. What do y'all feel about Nope coming out to theaters on July 22nd? That's right around the corner. That's next month.
I know, for real. I'm gonna see that movie.
Well, my
100%.
initial... Oh, sorry.
You're good. You go.
Well, my initial thoughts are nope. Like, fucking nope. I'm not gonna
As they
go
should
see
be.
that shit.
My second
love
thought
it.
is, what does this really mean? What is this really
That
talking
part.
about?
That part.
We know it's not just about aliens, right? We know for a fact it ain't just about aliens.
Yeah, 100%. It's not just about aliens. It's going to be one of those situations where we think it's about aliens, and then right when it's just going to get to the peak of the movie, and we're just going to jump up out of our seats and just go, damn it, they're so-and-sos. They're freaking so-and-sos. It was a lie. Just like we did with the past two movies.
Yeah. It's going to be a representation of the inner city.
Well, it even says it in the trailer. It says what you think you're looking at or something like that is not what you think it is. So he's
Yeah.
literally alluding to it in the trailer that, like, what you might think is happening is not really what the fuck is actually happening.
All right. Because I'm not going to repeat my thing with the NBA Finals, because that's already been ruined. I announced, okay, predictions. All of us, predictions. What do we think the movie's really about?
Ooh.
Whoever's the closest, we owe you a soda.
I think it's about white people.
We owe you a Zevia.
I think it's about white people.
Okay. What specifically?
I don't know, man. I seen a TikTok and they said that the UFO, like, there's one scene where, like, it's the whole entire fucking, like, lawn, right? And it's that long driveway where they have those the colorful fucking little wave men,
Mm-hmm.
the like, little, yeah, the men.
Wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm flailing tube men? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They're all colorful, and then you have the huge ass UFO that's just a white ass UFO, not a gray, which is what we're typically used to seeing, right? No, it's like just straight up white.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if, like, that might be a nod to, like, the Fruit Loops and, like, the milk thing from Get Out. But even though that didn't mean anything in Get Out, maybe he's just, like, doing a little Easter egg, like, haha, this might not mean anything either. But y'all thought it meant something in Get Out, so I just redid it
I
over
mean,
here in this movie. But I wouldn't put it against him.
I mean, it does. It means that she was racist, but
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I think it has something to do with white people.
okay, valid, Calvin,
If you ask me,
and I am.
I feel like the story may take a different turn than we expect.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's a way of trying to get certain people off this planet in order to either save them or because they need certain ingredients or things, if you will, from certain people. I don't want to go ahead and say it's a race thing. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we only saw the dad get killed so far, and we saw everybody else acting spooky and weird. But if it was a race thing, we also wouldn't see the two white people who teamed up with the two siblings in that trailer. You got the guy who's known for capturing UFOs in the trailer, and then you got the guy who's helping them install security cameras, and they both kind of stick around and form this ragtag group. I feel like it's going to be to collect something, or the dad's not really going to be dead. He was collected and he's trying to get his kids out of there after discovering something that these aliens probably showed him. And what we're seeing is just some creepy way of them handling it. So, yeah.
Interesting. You know, I never really thought of it. It could be like something like the white UFO that Joe was saying could be like a ploy for something. It could be like a cover for something else. Something that's actually helpful. That could be that would be a big twist.
There is another poster too where it's like the Nope poster, and it's like the cloud that's supposed to be covering the UFO, and there's like a little string of like colorful triangles that they usually have at like fairs and stuff like that, because Steven Yeun has like a carnival
Mm.
during the movie. So I don't know if that also is alluding to anything. There's also been theories that like all of his three movies are in the same universe.
I
So what
believe it.
if like what's his name from Get Out is in the sunken place, and there's like an alien invasion in the sunken place, and they're trying to get him out, and the aliens are what's trying to get him out of here. No idea.
Man. From the chat, Killer Clowns from Outer Space Part 2. Dang, maybe Rudy, I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, what are some other theories that the chat has about this movie? What do you guys think? Could possibly.
Well, Broshi was saying Killer Clowns from Outer Space Part 2. Mello said Cats 2.
Both of those ideas are terrifying.
It's just an extenuation of cats. I'd be like, hey, yo, let's stop there.
I'm getting up and walking out now.
For real. If I had to do an early theory, just based off of stuff that I know, perhaps, I guess, kind of going off of like the arm flailing tube men, the colorful arm flailing tube men, the ragtag group that comes together that's kind of like multiracial, white and black, and Asian, because Stephen Yeun's also in it. Roshi, you could be right. I don't think it could not be a racially motivated movie. Yes, sir. You have a question?
I'm stretching.
Okay, I was like, I thought you were raising your hand like I was a teacher. I don't know. Oh, hey, yo. But okay.
I'm the teacher here.
I know. I was like, I don't work at a school. I should be doing that. But I think perhaps maybe it could be a giant allegory for the Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter movement, perhaps.
How so? As I look up.
Yeah, I was like, so I'm just thinking, like, you were talking about the flailing tube. So the dad died, or supposedly. We don't know if that's really going to be true of the story or not, whether or not he's really dead or not. But farm field with multicolored arm flailing tube men facing towards the home, right? All very colorful, not black, but multicolored, varied of colors, because all lives matter, all colors matter, right? The what would appear to be a white UFO kind of overseeing, because it only seems like the UFO is kind of through this one farmland, this one place. So kind of like the white man per se, kind of overseeing and making sure that things don't get too out of control. Um, on the other side, the Black Lives Matter movie, making sure that there's still like opposition, things like that. And then obviously our main characters, who obviously in the Black Lives Matter movement, there aren't just African American people that are in the movement. There are people that sympathize with the Black Lives Matter movement and agree of all races. Um, so maybe it could do something with like allegories to that, perhaps. Uh, that's just something I kind of thought off the top of my head. It could be, could not be. It could be any of our ideas. It could be a mix of all of our ideas. It could be none of our ideas. It could be, uh, it could be just an actual UFO and they actually go to space. This could be about SpaceX and Elon Musk for all I care. It could be about anything.
But I mean, hey, the only way to find out is to purchase your tickets and be in the seats on July
That
22nd
is
at
correct.
11:30,
Mm-hmm.
which we will be,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we review things soon for a living.
Yes.
Nice. But exciting nonetheless. Like I said, anything Jordan Peele puts out, I like to give it a view. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But then again, I haven't not liked something he has put out yet, so I'm good.
I mean,
Yeah, man. Still need to watch Keanu. So there's that.
yes, I love that movie.
Hey, but does anyone have anything else to say about any of the news topics we talked about today? Going once, going twice. Now, I've been watching something that I should have finished watching a long time ago. But before we do that, it's time to take a quick intermission. Pop your drinks, grab your food, because we're about to sit back, we're about to relax, and we're going to talk about some anime. So if you could just enjoy your moment and grab your drink. This is a Sprite. Here's the proof.
I have a Subway sandwich in spirit, but you just can't see me.
I today have chicken enchiladas from a restaurant called Ola, but it's not spelled Ola. It's spelled OLA. Like what? Yeah. It was cool. Enchiladas were cool, but I don't want to waste food, so I'm finna crack this open. What you got today, Ruben?
I have a Asian salad with chicken,
Oh, that sounds fire.
and I have a medley of vegetables with shrimp.
Medley.
I eat a lot. All of it with no salt.
Nice. All right.
All still equally delicious.
Now, as we try not to be too loud on the mic, yeah, I got my water too, Denise. Nice. So Code
Ooh, cran
Geass.
raspberry. Ooh.
Code Geass. Not too bad of an anime, but if they keep talking about this fucking cat, y'all, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. I don't care about Arthur as much as everyone else cares about Arthur, but I guess we could talk about Code Geass. Ruben, with you being the residential anime person, I think it's only right that you kind of give a summary of what Code Geass is about. If I try to summarize it, I feel like you're gonna look at me, and a lot of people who we love would look at me in disgust. Because I feel like I just explained Britannia wrong. No, it's a different episode, Brochi. I'll explain later. I'm on episode 9.
No, man. Okay. I mean, okay, so what's the best way to explain it? I'm trying to explain it in a way that doesn't ruin anything for you. Just an overall general summary for people that might not know. Uh, I guess so. Basically, the story of Code Geass, uh, fully known as Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, and Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion R2, which is season 2. It's basically about a man named Lelouch, Britannia, who is an exiled son from the Britannia family, which in this world has basically taken over Japan and has annexed them into a small area, renamed them Area 11. And basically, Lelouch didn't like the things that his family was doing, so he kind of like seceded himself from the family and like decided to live amongst the Japanese annexed people. Changed his name, and he obtains the power of a Geos. Basically, what a Geos is like it's a special power concerning the eyes that has to do with some type of mental power that it gives its user over other people. For Lelouch, basically, it gives him the power to command and give an absolute order to someone that they have to follow. But he can only do it to any single person one time, I guess. So it's basically about him trying to kind of rebel Britannia's tyrannical rule and kind of get Japan back to a place of normality. I guess that would be the most roundabout way to explain what it's about without ruining anything. But I know you're on episode
pretty well.
like 9, right?
Yeah, you didn't spoil anything.
Great, fantastic. It's about Arthur.
Dude, I haven't been on the same episode, but he's been in like 3 episodes after, and it's annoying. Cause like they just keep bringing him up.
He's the goat.
No, he's the school mascot. He's not a goat. He's a cat.
Yeah, I know what he is.
All right, look. So a lot of people told me and referred to me Code Geass because I'm a huge fan of Death Note. If you couldn't tell, Shinigami Productions, Stream Party. If you can, I'm not that big of a fan of Death Note, but I'm a huge fan. But I needed something to watch after, and a lot of my friends, Rudy, Shiloh, Ruben, Chris, they all mentioned Code Geass. Everyone. Edwin, all of them mentioned Code Geass. I watched Code Geass with the intention of making sure that it wasn't better than Death Note, if that makes sense. Everything in my power just kept telling myself, if you will, I became a Goku stan in a way. Like, nothing's better than this anime type deal. So far, this anime, not bad. I do have my gripes with it, like the cat itself, but the good outweighs the bad. I guess starting with the bad, the characters all seem very just rushed. Everything seems so rushed, and I get it. That's like in true anime fashion. We gotta move quick. We gotta move fast. But 1 minute we'll be robbing a shipment yard. The next minute we're in class. The next minute someone's sleeping. The next minute we're having a meeting. You know what I mean? It's one of those animes where if you look away for more than 2 seconds, kind of like Death Note, then you're gonna have to rewind, replay, sit down and refresh yourself. Which isn't bad, but it being so detail oriented is what made me stem away. However, what makes me come back, and I'll explain that more in a second. What makes me come back is the fact that the anime doesn't give a fuck how you feel. For example, like I said, the anime is super detail oriented, but on the same side, I'm gonna have to deal with it for the simple fact that I don't know everything in true anime fashion. There are still some questions that I need to be answered. There are still some loops that I need to jump through, but in order to do that, you gotta get through the filler. You gotta get through all the character development. You gotta get through all the backstory. It takes a long time for what I wanted to see, which is ultimately the death of Britannia. So I think that's like my main gripe with it, but more on the good. The characters are hilarious. They are actually pretty funny. They do have a lot of good backstory. I haven't had a character yet with backstory I didn't like. Lelouch's backstory, really good, really sad. Oh, his name blanks me right now. I knew it was gonna happen. Um,
I know, Rudy.
uh,
It's okay.
uh, um, 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 um. He is a warden now, I believe, or Suzaku.
Suzaku.
Let's go. I'm remembering names. Let's go. Suzaku, really good character so far. Really good pilot. Um, you know what Code Geass reminds me of? Why I also like it? It's Titanfall, the fucking anime. In a sense, they have titans, they have pilots. Uh, who else is a really good character? Colin is batshit cool. I say batshit because she is crazy, but yeah, I could go on for days. Um, Domino, how you feel about the anime? I'll go more later. I just don't want to take up all the time.
I mean, it's been a while since I watched Code Geass, but I remember I started after you and I got further than you. I don't remember what episode I'm on because, we share a Netflix, so he kind of like put it back on his space. Um, so I have no idea where I'm at, but I know I'm way ahead of where he is. Um, I'm also a really huge Death Note fan. It's like the only anime I've fully watched through. Um, I enjoy the Geass aspect. I enjoy the characters. I like Colin, I like Lelouch, and I like what's the with the bitch with the green hair?
C2.
C2. We love C2. Bad bitch. Um I started to like fall off of it because I think I don't know. I don't know what it is about the aspect of like the war part, but it's like it's either not like quick enough for me or it's like not or it's like too rushed in my opinion, which I feel it's building up to something that's bigger and I still haven't gotten there yet, obviously. So I just need to watch it more, but I definitely think it's one of those animes that are worth giving a chance at the very least. If not, like you should be able to watch it all the way through. Um yeah, I think those are my thoughts on Code Geass.
I really need you guys to finish it. At least season 1 for now, but like
You can come talk to me after I watch Multiverse of Madness.
anyways,
Don't worry, I'm in this. I've told myself like I'm finishing through by the end of this year.
like there's so much that you think that you know. And you don't.
Will?
You just don't.
I wish you could explain, but I feel like
I wish I could also explain. You're right. I also wish I could explain.
I feel like in the next coming months, like me,
Like you're just suddenly gonna come on in the podcast and be like, "Yo, guys, all right,
I know everything." Like
I figured it all out."
Like I could see. Excuse me. Me, you, Domino, if she finishes Multiverse of Madness. Rudy and Chris talking about it and just like going in. But I would say Code Geass is one of those animes. It's beyond tolerable. It's good. The shit is heat. I'm on episode 9. Like the good out, like I said before, the good outweighs the bad. And there's always something to keep you on your toes. Just to spoil it a bit so far, just to let everyone know where I am or show everyone where I am. Last we left off, Colin and the Black Knights had I kind of say successfully, because they did it successfully. Were able to rescue like a group of hostages or like drug abusers, I guess you could say, and Colin's mother was among them. Also, the plot twist that I'm thinking this whole time, who is this maid lady that, and why is Colin so rude to her? Only for that to be her mother was completely shocking to me, and made me have more questions on the other sub characters. For example, like a lot of the dudes in the Black Knights, they aren't just like, to me, dudes. Yeah, just regular dudes, filler dudes in anime. They gotta have more of a backstory. Why are they doing what they're doing? Time will tell. We need patience.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will say. If we're gonna build an army, I really hope on two things. One, that by some point in this, Japan just becomes like flooded with Black Knights. And two, like, I want, oh my god, these niggas need to go through like Apex Legends pilot training. And I need generals in my war. If you're going to be a general in my war, you need to know how to control these robots. I'm tired of Colin being the only one who could be quote unquote reliable with her machine, only for it to now be destroyed, I believe. People need training. People need variety. We can't go into battle using the enemy's tech when the enemy knows how to use their tech. We need an engineer. That's where I'm at right now with the anime. We need an engineer. We need someone who's willing to work on these machines, because us going in with the same machines that the enemy has is just completely stupid, and we need more. We can't just have one and a bunch of guns. That's what I'm going to say for now. I enjoy this anime. I'm going to keep watching this anime. Just keep watching the anime. Yeah. There's not much else I can say.
Yeah, and I literally physically can't say anything else.
Oh, and it had no manga. Really went.
It did not. So that cat thing, that's not a filler. That's all canon. Not filler. It's all canon. Very important to the story. That's like this cat is like the chip scene from Death Note.
I feel
The whole episode chip scene.
I feel they're gonna be really important later, So I'm just like, I hate you. But in true anime fashion, by the end, I'm gonna be like, oh
Pizza
my
Hut
god,
is also canon. Yes.
Arthur.
The Pizza Hut is also canon.
There's a Pizza Hut, like an actual Pizza Hut. Did I miss that? There's a Pizza Hut in Code Geass. I told everyone Domino's was the least superior pizza.
Oh.
And now that proves it. Whoa. That's cool. Bonus points for Code Geass. Yeah, get some more pilots in this mug. So far, everyone running around like headless chickens. And also, one thing I need to know, how does Lelouch keep getting on top of these weird places? And how does he get down? Like, he'll be on top of the highest buildings, like, just chilling, looking all mysterious. And I'm like, okay, one, how'd you get up there? Two, how you gonna get down? Only to be in class 2 hours later. Like, come on now. But yeah.
Crazy. I googled it. Pizza Hut is fucking a thing in Code Geass.
He wasn't lying. It's canon.
It's like they actually paid for sponsorship in the show.
That's just
like almost every episode.
I want to watch
product
more Code
placement
Geass.
as a motherfucker.
I want to watch more Code Geass. Yeah,
just for that.
Can we do an episode where we're talking about after I finish, and what anime to watch next?
Mm-hmm.
Well, nice. Like every episode has Pizza Hut ads, Pillsbury Doughboys. What the?
Apparently, Pizza Hut also sold pizzas with Lelouch on the box to help promote the anime.
What?
Yeah.
That's so
cool. And apparently they're like known for this. Like Pizza Hut Japan is like known for like paid sponsorship type shit.
That is
Pizza Hut Japan is cool. I like Pizza Hut America. Yeah, so every pizza that C2 consumes had the Pizza Hut logo on it. So every time you see a C2 eating a pizza, that's Pizza Hut specifically. Nothing else.
Does it show the Pizza Hut ads in Netflix? I don't remember. Shoot, we gonna try to see.
Oh, we gonna find out.
Does anyone have anything else to say about Code Geass?
No, I'm good.
Not that wouldn't spoil things.
All right. Well, I think that might be it for the night. Short night. Not too bad. Or does anyone...
I see in the chat. Dan, you talk about Tiger and we don't talk about that anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Falling from grace a little bit. Just a little bit.
All right, y'all. I think if anyone doesn't have anything else to bring up, we'll have closing thoughts. Going once. Going twice. All right. Let's finish this bad boy off. Well, another episode is in the books. This was a fun one. I like being able to just chill, hang out, eat, talk, and have a good conversation with y'all in the chat. I look forward to more episodes like this. Domino, thank you for taking the time to be here. For everything you do, we appreciate you. Thank you for all the editing you've done for the videos. Thank you for all the, input and stuff. You're amazing. Do you have anything to say to your people before we head out?
No, just keep supporting Yo Invite. Keep liking. If you're able to share out our stuff, share out our stuff. Go on Spotify, follow our podcast, like our podcast, check out our episodes when we post them. We are now on YouTube as well, so check out our YouTube whenever you can. And yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you so much once again for being here. Ruben, another one in the books. How you feeling? Talk to the people. Let them know what's the deal.
I would, but then I wouldn't be able to do my other thing.
Oh my gosh, so you have nothing to say?
No. All I do is fuck it up. And I'm not gonna stop now.
That's fair. That's fair. Cool. Well, I guess I'll finish things off then. Look, y'all. How should I say this? Get up and do something. I don't care if it's one thing. I don't care if it's two things. I don't care if it's, a small thing. I don't care if it's a big thing. Get up and do something. Because when you get up and do something, that something can lead to something else. And that something else can lead to something else. And by the time you get to the something else is something else, all the things that you had to take care of are done. And now, what else is there to take care of but something that could better your future? Take care of your stuff. Do your laundry. Go work out. Go be great. But above all else, be responsible. And please, remember to be an adult. Now, with that being said, let's be children. Ruben, fuck it all up. Get 'em.
Oh boy, I have one for y'all today. Okay, so these friars were behind on their belfry payments. So they opened up a small florist shop in town to raise funds. Since everyone liked to buy flowers from the men of God, a rival florist across town thought the competition was unfair. Obviously so. He asked the good fathers to close down, but they wouldn't. He went back and begged the friars to close, but they ignored him. So the rival florist hired Hugh McTarget, the roughest and most vicious thug in town, to persuade them to close. Hugh beat up the friars and trashed their store, saying that he'd be back if they didn't close up shop. Terrified, they did so, thereby proving that Hugh and only Hugh can prevent florist friars. Good night, everybody.
The actual fuck.
Space.
We give up
Keep it up.
every weekend. Every weekend. It just gets freaking worse.
I don't know how you
Every
guys keep
weekend.
staying for this, but
I'm going home. I'll see y'all next weekend. I've had enough. Every time. How do you find these things? You go on Google. Google can't find. Google don't have these.
bye.